Hi, I'm Matt Dietrich of Reboot, Illinois, and welcome to another edition of Spin Cycle, where we try to unravel some of the spin of the 2014 election campaign. And this week, my colleague Madeleine Doubek attended a candidate forum for the Republican gubernatorial candidates. It was out in the suburbs, and it was one of the few times that the four Republicans have gotten together. And we're starting to learn a little bit about the candidates on one crucial subject, it sounds like.
Taxes came up, and it was interesting to note that 3 out of the 4 candidates for governor all were open to the notion of adding taxes onto services that are currently not subjected to a sales tax in Illinois. So, you know, things like haircuts or landscapers, or, you know, just about anything you can think of that doesn't have a sales tax right now.
If you get your car worked on, you pay taxes on the parts, but you don't pay any sales tax on the service.
On the labor, right. So that was a question that came up, and Dan Rutherford was the only candidate to adamantly say he doesn't want to open that door because he fears it would lead to more and more and more, and nobody really embraced it. Well, Bill Brady came close to embracing it, but he believes that if you were to add a tax to more of those kinds of services, then you might at some point be able to actually lower the tax rate.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question that we need to broaden the base and lower the rate. But we've got to have a combination, reduce our overall spending and reduce the overall tax burden on our economy, but come up with a mix of tax rates and tax bases that provides us the most pro-growth opportunity.
For example,
I think
when government starts to be able to tax something new, they're going to look for the next thing new after that. I do not support taxing services in Illinois.
It's going to look at everything, but if you can reduce, we have very high sales tax.
So that's a yes on broadening the base of the sales tax?
Maybe.
Okay, but what about the income tax? Isn't this the group that wants that income tax to fall from 5 to 3.75?
Well, you would think that that would be the case, but it seems that they're not all willing to adamantly say that as well.
We need a top-to-bottom overhaul of our tax structure in Illinois, because revenue may need to be on the table. But I will tell you, as the governor, I will not sign any revenue into law that is not a part of a comprehensive, verifiable, long-term solution to the finances of our state. We've got to bite the bullet, take the tough decisions that are right for the long term in Illinois, and that means moving.
Okay.
So the door's left open there, and we have, you know, essentially in one form or another, every Republican candidate for governor saying they might need some more revenue, they might need to have some higher taxes or new taxes.
Now, one final thing on the tax, there's one other candidate in this race, Governor Pat Quinn.
Well, 2 actually. He has a nominal primary opponent in T.O. Hardeman.
Correct.
But Pat Quinn succeeded this week in pushing back his budget address to the General Assembly and all of us in Illinois from the middle of February until March 26th, which is a good week after the primary of March 18th. And he managed to avoid in his State of the State speech talking about what he wants to do about the temporary income tax.
So what's the advantage to Governor Quinn of giving his budget address on March 26th, the week after the primary, as opposed to February 19th?
Well, he gets to take the next 6 or 7 weeks, the rest of the primary campaign season for the Republican candidates for governor, and avoid giving them the opportunity to take a whack at him verbally on the whole issue of increasing taxes. And as we know, Bruce Rauner is on TV pretty much nonstop these days, and very frequently says that Pat Quinn is the worst governor in the nation, and that he should be subjected to term limits, that he failed on when he tried to pass term limits, et cetera, et cetera. So Pat Quinn gets to avoid giving him more fodder for those TV ads.
Right, and then when he gives his budget address, he's going to know who his opponent's going to be in November.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's where we're at for this week, and we'll be somewhere probably totally different next week on a different issue. But that's the best we can do for unraveling the spin, and thanks for joining us again on the Spin Cycle. We'll see you next week.